Okay, guys, like I was saying, we are going to be recording a little YouTube segment here. This is the Lost Ark Dojo episode. I lost count. It's where I'm trying to give a little crash courses, not crash out courses on, different subjects. So right now we're going to talk about honing, advanced honing, special honing. So to put it simply, number go up. All right, this is like one of the prime things. This is what gates you from doing new content. There's so many other vertical systems, but this is the one that makes your item level go up, which lets you enter new raids. So how does it work? So we talked about most other systems. This one requires you to get different materials and then do an upgrade. So we're going to start with regular honing here. So looking at this right here, I have a 19 piece. You're going to be starting lower with better rates. Keep that in mind. This is going to look a little bit off to you probably. And this is just showing what I need. Now you can control right click this and it tells me I can buy them off the auction house if I have unbound gold. You as a new player will not have that. Leap stones. You can also right click see info, which then lets me see where I get those from. So these right here come from Guardian Tier 4. Basically everything under enhancement materials, which you're going to be needing for honing in general in this game. So basically, do your dailies, do your weeklies, do your raids, look at the event shop, go to all the different sources to generate these materials, and then Abydos, Infusion, Arrejos are going to mainly be coming from the solo vendor when you're starting out, and trade skills. So if you're going to be trying to hone, you really have to earn a lot of these to keep going. We're adding in this new Paradise system that's going to have some there. Also, any new player event usually comes with a bunch of those. This is one of the bigger bottlenecks, that and Destiny shards. Now, Destiny shards also come from like Unas, same with all these other things, except for Fusion are only from those other sources I mentioned. So Honor shards and Destiny shards. These are from raids, dailies, Unas, and things like that. It's one of those things that if you're trying to swipe and get ahead by buying mats, it's one of the first bottlenecks you're going to hit. And then otherwise you're going to be hitting the Fusion bottleneck. And then the gold bottleneck. Basically, if you're trying to swipe to get ahead, it's always one thing, and then when you buy that one thing, it's going to be the other thing, and it just keeps going down the path. So basically, this is saying it's going to take 2,950 of these, 45 of these, and 35 of these, plus some gold, silver, and Destiny shards per tap. Now up at the top here, we can click the magnifying glass. Tells me what I'm gaining from this, the weapon power and the item level going up. Right now I charged it already. So if I was looking at a piece I haven't charged yet, I can hit upgrade, and this would spend 1.2 million silver, cost 63k shards, and then after that it goes into this mode where I'm just paying per weapon tap or per armor tap. Now, if you want to look at this, this is also giving me weapon power on this, but on the armor pieces, it's also giving me base stat, defense, and vitality. And then vigor as it gets higher up and things like that. So armor is going to give you toughness as well as a little bit of damage because it is giving you that prime stat. It's something like 0.2% to 0.3% per regular armor tap as you go up. So fleet of 5 will give you like 1% to 1.5% depending on where you're at, and because each one's like a little bit of a multiplier over the last, and so on and so forth. Now weapon on the other hand is like a 1.6% modifier or damage increase. And that is another multiplier over the last. So if you say I'm getting 5 weapon taps, it's not 1.6, 1.6, 1.6, 1.6. It's 1.6 plus a little bit of the last, and so on and so forth going upwards. So that talks about regular honing. Just to show you what it looks like, if I hit gear honing here, it's saying right here it's a 1.5% chance. Artisan energy is 0. Additional materials are what's going to increase it up to 1.5%. And then if I do this, it says it's 0.06% per. So if I max that out, see how it gives my honing success rate up. So that's saying it's going from a 1.5% chance up to a 3% chance to hone. And I can also check this if I want to use that every time. So just to show you, I hit gear honing here, and we can see this little animation here. And you know right away once you learn animations that it didn't go. Honing success rate is 0.15% up. And so that means I increased my honing rate chance up to like 10 hones or something like that. And then artisan energy is why we did this. So artisan energy right here is a pity meter. And if you know what I mean by pity, it means if I fail enough, eventually it's going to go. When that artisan energy gets to 100%, the next hone will be a guaranteed tap. So weapon and going above 19. Look at level 19 on gear, kind of like a soft cap, and then the hard cap's 25, and it just gets harder and harder and harder to go up higher than that. So when you're a new player, don't try to overhone your weapon and things, even if your friends tell you to do it. Try to keep them all at level and keep going up. Now, next thing we're going to talk about here is the special honing. Special honing uses these concentrated leapstones or circulated leapstones, depending on which tier you're in. These are just a free tap. Now, these free taps, meaning I get a free chance to upgrade, do not increase my artisan, meaning I don't get more pity. It's just a chance to go, and you also can't increase it with the other factors. So once again, 1.5 base rate. We're going to try to hit that. And as you can see, it did not go once again. A big red little angry circle there. So ideally, it goes up when you hit it and you get it very low. The difference between a lucky guy and an unlucky guy is pretty astronomical in this game. Just to show you, you can go to the maxroll.gg/lost-ark/upgrade calculator here. And up at the top, I can select T3 if I'm still in T3, which is where you're at after a power pass. And I can say if I want to hone all of my pieces from 13 to 15 to reach 1600, this is what it costs down here. You're also going to have to check like the event if there is one, and if you're using materials or not. And this is average scenario, meaning the average chance, which is around 45%, let's say, to upgrade your piece to 50%. And then best case is like you're basically one tapping. And then worst case is you 100% all of those, you fail, you suck, GG. And then you can hit recalculate after you do things. You can input costs or quantities and stuff up here. And then we're going to look at advanced honing next. So this is a good tool if you want to kind of like calculate it. All right, I want to hone my weapon from 13 to max. This is what it costs. Okay, next up, we're going to be looking at advanced honing here. So this is the first tier of advanced honing, and there's going to be caps on regular honing based on what level your gear is. As you go through the event and pass, it's going to take you up to plus 19, and then you're going to be good. You should be 1620 by that point. Just to show you what that looks like. Again, let me take this all back, and we go up to like right about here at plus 19. So if you're at 1620, you can then go into Elniad, finish South Curzon, and then do the Kenuart Fortress. And that's going to give you a full set of relic gear. And then you go to the armor guy here, and there's a gear transfer button. So then I'm going to select my old piece, and then I'm going to select my new piece, select the old piece, and can throw it into the other one. It's going to convert it to the new tier, which is then going to drop down that plus 19 to like plus 13, plus 12, plus 11, depending on where you honed it to. And it's going to let you start honing again at a higher rate or higher percent chance. And then you're going to be in tier 4. It's also going to be giving you plus 20 item level across it. So if you're going from 1620 to 1640, that's great. It's just like a free upgrade, and then lets you get into tier 4 at 1640, doing the quests and stuff like that. Now, the next thing here is let's talk about advanced honing. Now, advanced honing unlocks after you fight Echidna. Echidna is this babe right here, commonly referred to as Your Majesty, my queen, another mommy I've heard a few times. A lot of people like her. I don't know why. It's real weird, you know, like who knows? We'll never know for sure. But basically you finish this and it's going to give you these little scales here on normal mode or solo mode. And you can, anytime you open up this window, you can check which rewards you get. But we go to hard mode and you get the eyes. Now, going from advanced honing 1 to 10 is going to be using the scales, and then 11 to 20 is going to be using these eyeballs. And basically it's like an unlock material. And then after you finish that, you're going to be going into Mortem, and Mortem has its own of these original things, these thunder crack horns, and then these right here, these thunder globes. Now, if I go here to the gear honing guide, just to show you an example of advanced honing, it's saying I'm using these thunder crack globes. I can also control right click, see info, and find out where they're from in the codex. Again, codex is your friend. But we obviously don't start with pants because I'm superstitious. So we're going to go to the shoulders. I think the shoulders are lucky today. So I consume those materials to start this honing. Now, advanced honing differs from regular honing because the regular honing had a huge scale between getting lucky and unlucky. Whereas advanced honing is closer to the middle ground of your above average luck or below average luck or average luck, basically. So it kind of normalizes the honing rates. I like the system better. Some people like just the gamble of I'm going to get lucky, and they really believe in their head they're going to get lucky, and then they have pitying, and then they come into chat linking their 100% artisan saying, wah, oh wah, I don't know how this happened. But you know what? Here we go. So I'm going to show you what it looks like here. Kind of like the other screen where I have these different required materials. And then advanced honing is a little bit different where we're going to be working on grace. Now, grace has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different things. And in the lower tiers, there's going to be scrolls you're using to try to increase your rates. You're going to want to use those scrolls on the full on grace. Let me show you what that means. So if I hit advanced honing here, I got a regular success. And you can see an 80% chance at success, 15% chance at great success. So we're going to click it again. And each time it's consuming now 8K shards, 56K silver, 2,400 gold. So, and these can be pulled from your roster if you have alts and things like that. You can try to pull them all across, and yeah, it helps a lot. So let's keep going here. Okay, so now that we've filled up all of these orbs, this is called full on grace. And if we look back at that calculator we were looking at right here, is that the right one? Yeah, 31 to 40. Right now we're doing the shoulders. So just to show you the average cost here, average scenario, full on grace. Yeah. So full on grace, make sure you have that checked. And we're going to go over here. We're going to check these optimally. We're going to be using these every time. Let me finish this. I'm going to jump back to regular honing because there's something I didn't mention. But here we go, and we're going to click this. We got a great success, which 2x's my gain, and then chisels the least lucky one. You will curse that chiseler whenever you see him, but that's okay. And then we uncheck chosen material to go into the chisel mode. And then we restart back filling up grace. Now, the difference between regular honing and advanced honing is every time I upgrade this bar, I get 1 item level on that one piece. Now, over here in regular honing, I get nothing as I hone through it. So I can go all the way to 100 artisan, spend infinite, and not get anything out of it. So going back over to here to the advanced honing. All right, no, actually, before I do that, there are books. And when I go into gear honing here, I'll have to show you on a different character. So we talked about scrolls and these different jelly beans here that increase your rates. These are primarily used in advanced honing when you're full on grace, or you want to save them for higher armor tier weapon taps to be efficient. While you're starting out, you don't have a lot of these. I wouldn't sweat it too much. Don't feel guilty using them. Like I know min-maxing and being super efficient kind of burns people out, so don't sweat it too much. But you can try to save these for later on if you do plan on playing a long time for the higher weapon taps, because this also will increase my artisan energy gain. If you looked over here, it's saying instead of 1.39, I'm getting 1.39 plus 1.46 per tap. And so that's effectively lowering the amount of total materials I'm going to use throughout it, depending if I'm using bound materials or not. Now, you can talk about using bound materials versus unbound materials, and that's like a completely different topic. I'm of the mindset of if you're a new player, returning player, try to only use bound materials and use events to fill things out. Don't overhone. Don't try to do things like that. Be efficient as you can, because if you want to stay as free to play as possible, that's the way to do it. Okay, so we're going to come back to books. We're going back to advanced honing here to show you this. So we're clicking again. And basically every time I great success, it doubles the bar gain here. I should probably be using these jelly beans here. So let me open these up. You're going to have boxes and things with different materials. For now, you can just throw them in your roster storage. Let me take these guys out and then get like 5 of these out. I'm going to go over here, and I'm just going to open up a bunch of these because I'm going to burn through these real fast. So basically what I'm doing is, you're not going to do this as a new player, but me as a veteran, I'm still terrible, but I'm a veteran. Basically, I'm going to be using these to give my higher chance of the crit, which then gives me more meter per. We lost right there, and chisel again, the least lucky one. I'm trying to show you the other ones here. Yo, Rosario, appreciate the follow. All right, here we go. Great success. That's double the meter there from 1 click. We're now 32 going up to the 33 here. There's a couple different things I can get when I'm full on grace. Again, you only want to use these when you're full on grace. So this is when, if I'm a new player advanced honing, I would use a scroll and a chosen material. And then we didn't crit there, which sucks. And then we got a chisel again, which double sucks. I hate you, game. Just kidding, I love you. All right, here we go. Gonna keep clicking upward. Okay, we ran out of these. So I'm gonna control right click search, and I gotta buy a bunch of these. There's also a time thing that will block me from buying too many things in a row so you don't make a mistake. So you got to wait like 5-10 seconds between each purchase. Again, don't buy materials if you're a new player unless you absolutely have to. You're going to want to try to generate more with alts if you want to stay free to play. All right, we got some more materials. I'm going to need more of these too. Might as well buy them now. Okay, here we go again. Again, I'm using these because I have a lot of them. You will not have a lot of these if you're starting out. So you want to save those for advanced honing and only high weapon hones to be efficient. All right, we're just losing today. So if I get 3x without a great success, that's worse than getting a chisel, unfortunately. We're kind of not doing good right now. So this is a below average run so far. That's two nice little crits there because I'm using these great success, increasing my rates. There we go. Getting some luck streak there. All right, we're going to hit this now. Surely we hit the great success. There it is. Into an anvil, which lets me just hone again, basically. There's like the great success. There's the 3x. There's the 5x. There's anvil. There's chisel. And the new one, there's super chisel, super anvil, 7x, and then a +1 bar, meaning it just goes from here to here, no matter where it is. So you get kind of unlucky if it's on the end. There's also 2 +2 levels as well. So here we go again. Another chisel game. I don't know why you hate me. I'm a diligent soldier today. Great success again. Show me something good for once. Okay, great success 3 is good. There we go. That's a nice one right there. All right, we're almost done here with this advanced honing. Okay, there we go. We're in the home stretch here, so we're almost maxed out on this piece now. And I'll show you some lower honing in just a second here. All right, we didn't get a great success, and we got a 3x, which is worse than the chisel. There's a lot of really good ones that are real fun to get. You can get really lucky through this process, but obviously I am not getting lucky right now. And there's the finish. Boom, there we go. All right, so something to note is on the higher advanced honing pieces here, I also have this base effect +2%, +3%. So going from 1 to 20, you will not see this, but going from 20 to 30, you see this additional 2% or additional 3%. That is additive to each other, so an additional 5%, let's say. That's increasing all the stats you see under basic effect right there. So my defense, int, vitality, vigor, if I remember correctly, as well as like weapon power down here. But we didn't get lucky. However, we finished my goal of reaching 1720 on one of my characters. Hooray. We did it, guys. All right, so we're going to move some materials back in my stash here. If you're not sure what I just did, they have a move all duplicate materials here. So if I have like 5 of these and I finish dailies on one character, 5 of these down here, move those over, and then 5 of these down here or whatever it is. It only works on stacks of things, unfortunately. If I get like a bunch of battle items, stuff like this, I can hit move all duplicate materials and it just combines with here. And I'm gonna hit that again on this page. Okay, so now we're gonna go here, and just for the fun of it, because you know sometimes it goes, we're gonna see if we get lucky on a hone, and maybe we do, maybe we don't. If we do, I cheer. Otherwise, look, we went up a little bit more. Unfortunate, it didn't go. We're gonna try again. Once again, we would like for it to go, but you know what? We were unlucky today, and I'm out of destiny shards. So again, we do dailies. You build up materials by doing more stuff, and then we try our luck again another time. So now let me swap to a different character here that hasn't finished all the earlier honing, so I can show you what books look like and show you the scrolls in the lower tier. There's also going to be events and other things that you can get these scrolls from for advanced honing, and they're very good. Right now we are on my original namesake, Mr. John Pal. I'm sorry that it's pretty flat in the front down here, you know, but it is what it is. He's doing his best. So I'm going to use board ocean liner. I'll make different guides for different things, but if you haven't done this yet, you press M to open up your map, board ocean liner, and I can go anywhere. You know, since I'm wearing my Speedo, I'm feeling a little bit tropical, so we're going to head over to Punica now. Open the map, and we right click it to zoom out. We're going to go over here to Nia Village. I also can't show up to show you my currently my current speedo in real life, unfortunately. I think that's stream inappropriate. Okay, so here we go up to, actually, let me go back over here. I mentioned those Abydos, but let me show you this real fast. If you type in solo up here, you got solo mode exchange. It's in most towns. It's a little blue flashing chest. We're going to go up here and talk to him because this guy right here is going to be your best friend while you're a new player. You're going to see a bunch of these. So you can buy out all of this depending on your solo mode currency, which you get from doing raids and solo raids of a certain caliber. And you can actually convert these. Which one is it? This guy? And you can go over here to fusion mat. And I can convert up all these old mats. It's nice, like 124 per week. You're going to get extra. All right, there we go. Here we go. Gear honing. All right, so I don't think I have books for this, so I'm not going to show you that. Let's see here. I might have some scrolls. Okay, so this is what the scroll looks like. I don't have any right now. Let me buy one just to show you. So what I'm doing here is, this is the same concept as what I showed you on the other one. We use these materials here. We're going to click our way up. Okay, so now we're at the end of the line here. And now I'm going to use the scroll here when I'm full on grace, which is all these orbs filled up at the top. Click advance home. We got a great success. Awesome. Into a chisel. Not so awesome, but that's okay. Same concept here on these guys. I have these things here that I can use. We can go through the great success process here and continue to try to hone up. Again, this is actually 10 item level on one piece versus regular honing, which is going to be less. It's like 5 per. So just something to keep in mind. I think that about covers everything except for books. So when you're going in here, you have all these solar graces. This is what it looks like in T3. And then I have these different books here. When you're going through books and scrolls and all these different things, always, always, always use the bound ones first. See how this one says tradable on the right-hand side? This one says untradable on the right-hand side. And then you can, so always send the untradable ones first, use these up. And then over here on the side, you can use these, especially if you're at the end of T3 and you're not going to use them on anything else. It's fine to use them. Once you hit tier 4, it's when you're going to be doing all your advanced honing as a new player. As far as when is it efficient to do advanced honing versus regular honing, it depends on your scrolls and materials. It's something like when your gear's at +9, you can do 1 to 10. And what was the other one, guys? You can do 11 to 20 when you're at plus like what, 13 or 12 these days. Like, it's pretty efficient to advance hone, also depending on what the event offers. So I don't want to speak out of turn on that one without doing all the math. Character bound, roster bound, tradable. There you go. That's a good way of looking at it. Yeah, I forgot to include character bound as well. I just said bound. But yeah, burn up the character bound, then roster bound, then tradable materials. And yeah, I think that covers most everything. Honing is something you're going to get some high highs and low lows. Some characters are going to be lucky. Some are unlucky. Let's see, +14 normally, then 1 to 10, +15, +16. I don't know if that's true anymore with scrolls, Brownie Chief. I think those numbers are actually lower these days. Yeah, it's like +9 and +12 these days. But it also depends on if you have scrolls and materials. I prefer advanced honing because you can just get luckier. But let me show you real quick a hone like this, just for the fun of it. So I click this, and if you notice up here at the top, it's giving me an extra 10%. That's a lot. And I can also check this, so every time I click through, it's going to keep that applied and make sure I uncheck that if I don't want it. 9 and 16. Cool. All right. So that honing is it's like one of the biggest, most core systems to Lost Ark, so it really requires a lot more detail. You can buy books, get them from events. Always use them if you can. They're actually pretty cheap on the lower tiers, especially. If you're a new returning player, just don't be afraid to ask for help in all the different channels, whatever you have. Find other people to play with and find like a community. That's so important in Lost Ark. But yeah, good luck. If you have questions, stop by. I'm probably live. And I think we say bye to YouTube now. Okay, bye YouTube. Bye. Bye. Bye YouTube. See you later YouTube.